Hello everyone. Today in this video lecture, we're going to study about the components of DAO, or rather, I would say we're going to study about the components that we've taken from the human organizations components that are still valid to DAO. So we're going to study about all those components in a greater detail. Let's start with it. So the first component is actors, then assets, then permissions, then decision making, and then shared purpose and goals. So if I talk about actors, so actors in your human organization is people or the other agents. And when I come to DAO, it still says the same, people or the other agents that are participating in the DAO. In crypto, we use wallet addresses to represent humans or potential non-human actors, say AI. These wallets hold tokens that allow them to participate in the governance. However, you cannot map it like one person to one wallet. One person is equal to one wallet because it is not the case. Many a times, one person can hold multiple wallets. So please don't link these two tightly. Then coming to your assets. Now, DAOs have shared resources such as fungible and non-fungible tokens. Permissions, like rules, but they're enforced by code and not by law. Decision making, different mechanisms like voting that the DAO uses to decide to what to do next. Shared purpose and goals. People organize because they're bound by a shared purpose or have goals in mind. Now we're going to study about the actors in detail. So if I talk about actors in DAOs, actors use wallets and tokens to interact. Now then what are wallets and then what are tokens? So let's just study wallet and then we'll go to token. So first talking about the wallet. A real world wallet is where you store your money, right? But in Web3 world, crypto wallet is similar except here that it's where you hold your tokens. Now you can call it tokens, you can call it crypto, you can call it cryptocurrency. You can think of your crypto wallet as your access point to the blockchain. You use your wallet to interact with the blockchain to buy, sell, move, store tokens, create confirm actions in blockchain enabled organizations like DAO. Do you get that? So a wallet is necessary to interact with a DAO because you will need to hold tokens to participate, and those tokens they are held in your wallet. You can also use wallets for governance because they can be put on the allow list that grants your wallet access to vote. Now, sometimes uh, it's wallet based and sometimes it's token based, right? And your wallet is nothing. Your wallet is just your name that gives you voting power. It's like your identity card in the world of DAO. When I talk about tokens, DAOs mint tokens to use in governance. The DAO might assign tokens to wallets or put them on a decentralized exchange for wallets to purchase it. Right? You hold your tokens in your wallet, but actually your wallet just holds the key to access your crypto on the blockchain. Crypto is on chain. So your wallet just holds the keys to access your crypto on the blockchain to make a claim that these are my cryptos. But you may hear that your tokens are in your wallet, and it's perfectly fine to hear that as well because that is how people have started talking about it. DAOs mint tokens that are unique to them. If you're using Aragon, Aragon is going to mint only Aragon Network Token $ANT to cast votes and conduct governance. But it's not necessary for a DAO to have a token at all. In fact, many DAOs choose to never mint tokens using different governance models. Now, there are different governance models. There are wallet-based voting, token-based voting, and there are many. Then if I talk about the assets, cryptocurrencies, including DAO governance tokens, are recorded on the blockchain. That means you need to make a transaction on the blockchain to move or interact with them. And if you're making a transaction on the blockchain, it is going to always stay there. It's often said that crypto is simply on the blockchain and they're called on-chain assets. This is opposed to off-chain assets, and off-chain assets are your currency, the local currency of the country you're staying in, which is obviously not stored on the blockchain. A DAO treasury, sometimes called a vault, is similar to a wallet, except one person can't just sign the transaction and move funds. It's managed by a smart contract. In order to move them, you must meet the conditions set in the smart contract, and then certain parameters must be met, such as the number of votes and a certain percentage of tokens that need to be cast for yes. So it's very simple. A DAO's treasury, all the funds that are managed by a DAO, just consider it. It is like a vault that no one can open alone. Only when the conditions are met, a certain minimum number of people have to vote in for, then only you are able to move the funds. So you need to have to meet the conditions set in the smart contract along with the certain parameters that have been set, and then you're able to move the funds. Then if I talk about the permissions part, so a permission management system is a set of smart contracts that determine who and what can perform certain actions. So it's just a set of rules like who and what can perform certain actions. The who refers to the one able to execute the action. This can be any wallet, any smart contract, and the what part, it refers to the action that gets triggered. This can be a token transfer, this could be a transaction execution, or anything that you can write into a smart contract. In Web3, this is all done trustlessly and automatically through smart contracts. When I talk about the on-chain permission management system or a DAO framework, it is a set of smart contracts containing parameters that determine who can perform certain actions. DAOs use on-chain permission management systems to determine who is able to execute actions and under which circumstances. For example, one person cannot withdraw the entire DAO treasury into their own wallet because there are conditions and parameters just holding a vote that meets a certain quorum level and a level of support for proposals required to gain access to the treasury. I hope you're able to understand that. It's simple. It's just like permission. What are permissions? They're just rules. Like, okay, if you have 60% votes, release the funds. And the thing is, code is going to enforce these rules. Code is going to enforce the permissions. Code is going to tell who and what can they do, right? That's all. Then if you come to decision making, DAO governance is who can make decisions and how those decisions are made. We use wallets and tokens to execute DAO's governance. We are still in the early days of experimenting with DAO governance, but today it comes mostly in the form of voting, either wallet based or token based. So if it's the wallet based voting, one authorized wallet is equal to one vote governance. The voting power is the same for every wallet on the allow list. Howsoever tokens you hold in that wallet, howsoever keys to the crypto you hold in that wallet, if you have one wallet, you have one vote. That is it, right? And then if it's token based voting, one token is equal to one vote. So in that case, an individual's voting power is directly proportional to the number of tokens they hold. So if a token holder has 2% of tokens, they have 2% of the voting rights, voting power. Fungible tokens, that are ERC20s, and non-fungible tokens, ERC721s, are two types of tokens your DAO might mint. Minting a governance token is like creating voting chips or issuing membership cards, except on the blockchain. Do you get that? DAO governance is still evolving. Right now, DAOs typically use voting to make decisions. We have both token voting and wallet voting available in the Aragon app. About the Aragon app, I guess we're going to take one more lecture and then we're going to talk about Aragon in detail. But there are tons of governance mechanisms out there. Today, DAOs don't need to have voting at all to be considered DAOs. This is important. So if I talk about different DAOs, they could have different styles. If I'm talking about the token-based voting systems, their one token is equal to one vote. Makes sense? And if you hold 2% of the tokens, you hold 2% of the voting power. And then if we talk about the wallet-based voting, if you have one wallet, irrespective of how many tokens are there in that wallet, if you have one wallet, you have one voting power. Then coming to the last component of human organizations, components of human organizations that apply to DAOs, shared purpose and goals. So actors organize to achieve a shared purpose and goals. Now the goal could be anything, raising funds for a community garden, starting a new protocol, launching a sports fan club. Since you can join most DAOs permissionlessly by buying their governance token, many competing priorities and strategies can emerge. This can create more innovative spaces where DAO members propose and decide on the most compelling direction for the project to take. What does this do? It creates more dynamic and creative organizations because there is a diversity of viewpoints and approaches amongst the organization's members. Even though the members of DAO may try to advance different strategies and goals, smart contracts can be used to align to the incentives. DAO technology allows you to program incentives directly into the governance of your organization, incentive in the way of tokens. This can encourage certain behaviors, aligning incentives to reach certain goals. Smart contracts introduce the possibility for unique incentive structures. For example, if you need more participation in votes, you can program incentives into the contract that are given to token holders when they cast votes. Simple. If you want to, get something done in some way, just incentivize it. That if you're going to do this, you're going to get this. People are going to get attracted to it and people are going to do that, right? The programmability of smart contracts makes shared purpose not just intrinsic but also extrinsic. So, if I talk about this in detail when it comes to shared purpose and goals, it's like a DAO without its purpose, without having to meet its goal, without having decided a goal, is nothing. Purposed goals just give direction. Smart contracts give structure to those purpose and goals, and together they make the DAOs wonderful. So, I hope you're getting it. Then the last slide, components of DAO, no central legal entity, we know it's decentralized. Self-enforcing code, we know it's autonomous. Token acts as an incentive for validators. So tokens are used in DAO for validators to motivate them and to ensure active, fair, and quick participation. So, all we want to say is we don't have a CEO, there's no centralized power. We don't have anything except code to govern, and then tokens are going to motivate people to contribute. With this, we are good with this lecture, and if there are any doubts that you have, anything where you need reclarifications, anything where you need, which you think should be more stressed on, just go ahead, use the comment section and let me know wherever you find difficulty going through and pace with. So yeah, if you liked it, if you're able to get into it, just go ahead, click that button, subscribe to the channel, and follow along. Thank you. Bye bye.